Okay, so welcome to the channel Wire MBA. Now we are here to assist you with your preparation and with respect to the verbal ability and reading comprehension section for your upcoming CAT or other management entrance examinations that you are preparing for, like NMAT, SNAP, CUET, PG, all of those. So while you're preparing for the vocabulary section, one very important thing that gets missed out, or rather is a little challenging to complete, is the vocabulary section, and especially you don't know how to memorize words and how to apply them. So the best way of memorizing words are, firstly you read it, secondly you use them. So try to use them in your everyday conversations, everyday writing, even when you're trying to write an email. Just swapping a simple word like stubborn with reluctant will help you actually elevate your vocabulary skills quite a lot. So in this video, I am going to discuss 50 most important words for your management examinations, which is going to help you up your vocabulary game and crack all these questions. So come, let's dive in. So the first word is eclectic. So eclectic is selecting or employing elements from a diverse range of sources or styles. So such an eclectic range of hats, I saw such an eclectic range of hats at a store in England. I wanted to buy all of them. Egregious. So the word egregious is pretty similar to the word error. So it's like outstandingly bad or shocking. The short circuit was so egregious that it led to the loss of lives of a lot of people. Elucidate. So elucidate is often used in the question paper. That is to elaborate or clearly explain something. So if you could please elucidate on the statement that you just passed. Ephemeral. Ephemeral means transient, something that changes from time to time or something that changes in a very short time. Fashion is ephemeral. It is an ever-changing industry. Facetious. Facetious is treating serious issues with inappropriate humor or flippant. It was quite facetious of her to laugh when she had just lost her brother some time back. Moving on to the next set of words, idiosyncrasy. So, idiosyncrasy is a distinctive or peculiar feature or behavior. Such kind of idiosyncrasy is not acceptable when you have come here for book writing. Illicit. Illicit is, so basically licit or lit is something related to literary. So illicit. So wherever you have the words il, it has to do with something that is forbidden by law, like illegal, illicit. So forbidden by law, rules or custom. It is illicit to use different kind of substance, or substance abuse is illicit in most of the countries. Immutable, that is unchanging over time. So we just learned the word ephemeral sometime back. Immutable would be the antonym for that word, that is unable to be changed. So the immutable traditions that have been coming, that have been passed down generation after generation, remains unchanged in the Indian society. Impetuous. Impetuous means acting or something that is done quickly without thought or much care. This is very much similar to the word impulsive. So the impetuous decision is not always right. Make sure you take some time before you decide onto something. Ineffable. Okay, so ineffable is too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. I am so happy today. It's ineffable. I just can't explain it. Moving on, juxtapose. So to place or deal with close together for contrasting effect. So it will provide a contrasting effect to something that is very clear. So just to add the juxtapose, or to juxtapose the position that I took some time back, I would like to repeat that this particular stance is completely opposite to what she had agreed on. Jovial. Jovial means something that is humorous, something that is cheerful and friendly in demeanor. I love playing with Toddler the dog because he is so jovial. Judicious. Judicious means that when you have good judgment or sense. So make sure you use the salt judiciously because we have only some left. Kindle. Kindle means to ignite or arouse a feeling, emotion, or passion. So, generally, it could also be to kindle a fire, but the way she spoke to me, it kindled that kindness back into me. Kinetic. So, kinetic, it comes from energy. So, relating to or resulting from motion. So the kinetic moves that he makes is so strong. I would like to learn how to defend myself. Knack. So generally, it's not. Generally, we use the word snack a lot, but knack. Knack means when you have the skill, ability, or talent. She has the knack to identify someone when they are lying. Laconic. So laconic means using very few words. Now this would be opposite to the word verbose, where someone uses a lot of words or talks a lot, or even garrulous for that matter. So using very few words, concise to the point of being rude. So her answer is so laconic, it's difficult to proceed with a conversation. Lethargic. Lethargic is something when you're very tired, when you're not really full of energy. So her lethargic reaction to the good news made me feel that she is not as happy as I am about the same. Light. Light is thin, supple, and graceful in movement. So her lead movements or light movements always make her dance much more appealing to the audience. Magnanimous. Now, whenever there's a word mag and it ends with OUS, the suffix OUS, it intensifies the word. So, magnanimous means very generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or someone less powerful. The king is so magnanimously hearted that he forgave all the soldiers who were trapped in the war. Malleable. Now, malleability is also a metal property. So, something that is easily influenced or shaped or adaptable. So, I can say that silver is one of the most malleable metals when I'm using it as an adjective for a metal. Or I could say that the early childhood years of a child is when a child is most malleable. We can try to figure out what kind of behavior we or how we want the child to behave. So, that's when a child can easily be influenced. Melancholy is related to disappointment, it's related to sadness. So, that particular tune of melancholy always makes me cry. Mitigate is making something, undermining the effects or making something less severe. I hope the vaccine mitigates the effect of COVID. Morose. It is sullen and ill tempered. She is so morose after the fight that it's very bitter to talk to her. Nebulous. Nebulous is unclear, vague, or ill defined. Okay, so the nebulous description of the medicine did not help me arrive at the correct or did not help me in buying the accurate medicine. Nostalgia. So, nostalgia is when you are taken back in the past or when you remember something. So, it's a sentimental longing or affection for the past. I am feeling so nostalgic today because I just visited my school sometime back. Notorious. Notorious is pretty similar to mischievous. So, famous or well known typically for some undesirable quality or deed. So, those goons are well known for their notorious activities. Obstinate. So obstinate is, so whenever you have this obstinate, that is when you're not accepting something, so stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or course of action. So she has obstinated from the decision of going ahead with the case, so that is she has refused quite firmly. Ominous. Now, omens are omen. Basically, this comes from the word omen. Omen means bad signals, or something that is not really good enough. So, giving the impression that something bad or unpleasant is going to happen. It is believed in some traditions that if a cat crosses your car, it is meant to be ominous. Ostentatious. So, ostentatious is characterized by vulgar or pretentious display designed to impress or attract notice. So, basically, some art installations are so ostentatious that they lose the essence of actual art, like so obnoxiously elaborate. Palpable. Palpable is something that is materialistic, basically something that is tangible or that can be touched or felt. So the pain in the palpable part can be understood quite easily. Paradox. Paradox is a seemingly contradictory statement that may be true. So there's not a very definite way of proving a paradox. So there are certain paradox in physics that still needs to be resolved. Peruse. Peruse means to read or examine thoroughly and carefully. I have placed the reports from my last night's event for you to peruse. Pervasive. So pervasive means something that spreads very easily. So spreading widely throughout an area or group. So God is supposed to be all pervasive. That is everywhere. Pithy. Pithy means brief, forceful, and meaningful in expression. It's most often used for the word concise. So it's a pithy explanation, but I'm sure it will help you understand the concept. Quandary. So, quandary is a state of uncertainty or perplexity, especially as requiring a choice between equally unfavorable options. I was stuck between the rock and a hard place. It's almost like being stuck in a quandary. Quixotic. So quixotic is exceedingly idealistic, unrealistic and impractical. मतलब कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो कि इतनी ज़्यादा it's all so good that it's impossible to actually put it into action. The quixotic demand set by them is pretty difficult for the entire audience to fulfill. Rambunctious. So rambunctious is boisterous, that is like very noisy, uncontrollably exuberant. So the rambunctious crowd made it very difficult for us to perform peacefully. Recalcitrant. So recalcitrant is resisting authority or control, disobedient. So the class was so recalcitrant that the teacher had to take strict disciplinary action. Redundant. Redundant means not or no longer needed or useful, it's superfluous. So, when we use and also in the same sentence, it's redundant. The use is redundant. That is when something has been repeated, which is why it loses its importance. So I hope these 50 words as well as a few antonyms and the kind of questions I have discussed will help you. If you want to learn how you can crack the top IIMs and other top business schools in just one attempt with personalized approach, please use the link in description and we are here to help you out. Let me know your doubts in the comments below and I'll help you with the same. All the best.